Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel, and this is same series of clean architecture along with CQRS pattern and MediatR. Okay, so in this session we'll create or set up the clean architecture setup. Okay, like for example application layer, domain layer and infrastructure layer. We'll just create a setup. Okay, and then the next series will try to implement every layer, like deep implementation over there. Okay, but yeah, first we have to uh, need to create a setup. Okay, so let's see the demo. Actually, this is a demo actually. Like for example, like I already create a demo, like we are actually create a clean architecture along with CQRS pattern and MediatR, and I am achieving over here, like get endpoint, post endpoint, like see the get endpoint over there. We can post the blog, we can get by the blog, get by id the blog, we can put, we can update, and we can delete. Okay, so we'll achieve these things in this series. So let's start to create a architecture. Okay, and so first what need to do, we have to open a Visual Studio first. Okay, and let me open the Visual Studio. Okay, and here you need to just create a new project. Okay, let me search web API. In this series I will take a web API template for my user interface. But yeah, we when later on in the another series definitely I show you like how we can use this clean architecture many another template, like for example MVC application or other UI interface. Okay, so let me create ASP.NET Core web application, not web application actually. We require web API, so you have to use this one. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, see, this is a template. We are actually we mentioned an ASP.NET Core web API along with C Sharp. So definitely before creating, definitely you have to check out like okay, what is actually we are choosing, like C Sharp or F Sharp, whatever uh, languages we have chosen. Okay, so next, okay, here we have to specify the name. Okay, let me put some name. Okay, clean architecture. Okay, I'll put the short name clean architecture with a CQRS pattern, CQRS and MediatR. MediatR. Okay, MediatR, and it is project name is a API, so let call is the API. But yeah, this is a solution name. I don't want to use the solution name also API, because solution name should be as a unique. Okay, and then layer wise you can just put your project name. Okay, let's create a next. Okay, here just you can use simply like configuration as to whatever the default things, you can just use it. Okay, and one more thing, don't use top level statement. So yeah, you can just keep it whatever over here and click next. Our solution has created, and along with we have created that presentation layer. Okay, so that is fine. Also, if I will don't go over details of this web API project solution, because I already explained everything. If you first time creating web API project, so definitely I recommend to you go to my channel and you can watch my previous or that session. Okay, okay, that is fine. Then what I need to do, I need to now what I need to create, I need to create another library actually, new project or the solution base. So you have to click the solution and add a new project. Okay, and then add a library. I have over here because I last time I chose this over here. But yeah, if you first time, so definitely you have to check like class library, and again you have to make sure like this is a class library, but make sure like what the languages you are choosing, like C sharp, F sharp, or what. Okay, so I just choose like simply class library, which is actually supported .NET and .NET standard, so that is fine for us. Just click go next, and then we have to put some name. Okay, for example, whatever our solution name, so this is our solution name, and then this is a domain layer, so just put it's a domain. Okay, and next, and choose a target framework. So as of now is a standard team support is for .NET 7, so I'll just choose, I have a preview 8, but yeah, I'll choose the 7 because it is a stable version. Okay, and in this domain layer, actually what need to contain here, need to contain actually the entity and the repository. Okay, so let me add the folder only, just I'll just create a setup, I'll not implementation anything, just create a setup. So what are the content over here, so I'll just put over here, so entity will entity. Okay, entity folder, and another one is like repository. Okay, repository. Okay, so yeah, now this is done, and that is sufficient for here. Just remove this class one. Okay, and then move it to another one. Now required another one is an application layer, so let me again add another project, similar class library, you can search over here or directly over here. And next, now same name of the solution name, and dot we can post, we can post over here like application. I everything I actually explain in our overview session in previous session. So if you first time, so definitely I recommend to you go to visit my channel and watch my previous session. Application. Okay, application, and then next choose the .NET framework. That is done. Okay, remove that by default generated class. Okay, and here what I need to, what are the folder structure I required over here. Actually we use clean architecture, so definitely we required some command query stuff. Okay, so let me add, actually we'll in this series we'll take an example of blogs. Okay, so let me create blogs. Okay, blogs folders. Okay, in this blocks folder we have to, what need to do in this blocks folder, actually we have to insert, update, delete, CURD operations. Okay, so what are the things we have to do over here under the blocks. Okay, so I need to create a command. Okay, because the CQRS pattern we are using, so definitely there's a two distinct things we required. So first is commands. Okay, don't worry about that, what is command, what is query, I'll later when we'll implementation that application layer, I'll explain everything again, but yeah, I'll give in some overview. So you can visit my channel and go to check my previous session video. Okay, and then under this command, what are you know what we have to maintain in this command. So we have to maintain like create blog. Okay, create blog, and then update blog, update blog, and similar delete blog. As of now this is sufficient, but yeah, later on we'll discuss and will require, I will add more. Okay, so this is a standard actually. Then command has complete, then we have to require that queries. Okay, so queries. Okay, under this queries, actually what will achieve under this query, we have to, okay, let me commands and query. Okay, so let me add another folder inside the queries, get blogs. Okay, the get blogs and get blogs id as well. Get blogs blog by id. Okay, so this is done. Okay, for that CQRS pattern, like we will handle in these blogs, like create, update, delete, and as well as in a query part we'll handle get blogs by id and get blogs. Okay, and there are some, in this layer actually we have to add one more folder, that is called is a common, so that whatever common logic, whatever common service, okay, common, sorry, not command, common. Okay, so in this common actually we'll handle like validations. Okay, like validation, exceptions, and mapping as well. Okay, so let me add like behavioral. Okay, whatever behavioral things we will we have to keep under this folder. Okay, behaviors. Okay, under this behavior actually we'll add some validations and etc, and also we'll add some, you know what call is, like if we want to handle some exception, so that should be under in the application layer and we'll use it under this common. Okay, so exceptions, also we can keep it to exceptions. Okay, and also mapping. So these three things is common, but later on we'll add more once we require anything. Okay, so mappings idea is common folder in the application layer we have to use, so that we can use the all over the application, which is the commonly we use. Like for example, validation, so validation is the commonly used, so we'll put over here or we can register as well. Okay, so this is done, and then finally we have to create one configuration things. Okay, okay, one thing I miss, I guess, so one dependency. Okay, I okay, I forget that one. Like see, I created the domain layer, but I forget, adding the dependency. What are the dependency required? So in this domain layer, actually required one more dependency, like MediatR packages. So we'll add that one. Don't worry. So first, let me add some configuration. So every layer, like so, this is application layer. So I need to register some, registering dependency over here, so that's why we have to create one configuration service. Okay, so how can do that? Just create, add new class and create it to configuration service. Okay, call it to configuration service dot cs file. See, this is a configuration, make it to public, and also we have to use a static. Okay, and then okay, now create a method. Okay, we'll create some extension method. We have to create this services extension method, so that this call to our UI interface. Okay, so public static, and then I need to iService provider, iService, not iService provider, I need to iService collection, iService collection. Okay, which is coming from, I think, yeah, Microsoft extension dependency. Okay, that need to add. So yeah, so now first we have to add some packages. Okay, before adding this service, so what are the package dependency required? So let me add first in the domain layer. In the domain layer, just go to manage packages. Okay, and here we have to add that MediatR. So let me search that MediatR. Okay, why are you adding in the mediator and the domain? Because this mediator are using somehow over here, and also somehow the you know for UI layer. So that's why I call it to here. But yeah, we can use that mediator at an application layer as well. So does not a very big impact, but yeah, that is fine for here because Microsoft Teams are using in this place. So definitely that's why I'm using same place. Okay, so I use MediatR for this version because this is a latest version. So add this one, apply. Okay, so yeah, now it is installed. If you see over here, okay, see it is green tick, that means it's installed, and also it's saying update and uninstall. Okay, so it is done, mediator is done. Then I need to install in application layer. So what are the prerequisites on that? I already discussed, but yeah, I required that mediator are automapper, sorry, the automapper mediator are already I installed, but yeah, then another things is automapper extension. Actually that automapper extension contain that service collection class as well. So that's why I need to add NuGet package like automapper extension. Okay, so let me search this automapper extension. Yeah, so see, this is automapper extension, but I need automapper extension Microsoft dependency. Automapper extension Microsoft dependency. Let me choose, let me search. Okay, let me search this one. Yeah, so I'm looking this one like automapper extension Microsoft extension. So if you, okay, so this one actually dependency injection. Okay, so in this here actually there is a lot of dependency, so it is include that abstract dependency as well. So let me install this one, apply. Okay, so this is existing error, don't worry about that. Okay, and one more thing actually we have to use. Okay, one more package is required like in this application layer, that is called Flu fluent validations dependency injection. So let me add that one also. So don't worry about that, let me set up, but yeah, when we'll implement then I'll explain why it's required. Okay, so this is another package. Okay, fluent validation dot dependency injection extension. Okay, let me add. This is mainly purpose for validation our command and query, whatever before reaching the command and query we have to validate actually. So yeah, this package will help for that. Okay, so see, this is also installed. If you double click over here, you will see these two packages installed over here. Also one more thing we have to add, this domain layer actually dependent the application layer. So let me add the domain layer over here. So project dependency, let me add the domain layer. Okay, okay, see, so three dependency over here, an application layer. Okay, uh, one is that domain layer, and another two is like automapper extension and dependency on this one. Let me zoom in so that you will aware to see that dependency, what are the dependency over here. See, this is first, this is second, and this is third one. Okay, so this is third one, the domain layer. Okay, so this is fine for as of now, and now move it to here. Let me create a service collection and then bring the namespace. See, using bring the namespace, it is bring over here because I adding those packages, that's why. And then I need to add some extension name. Like what is the extension name? It is called like something add application, application services. And see, I need to use this I collection service because it's extension, so that every extension when we use over here, so it will automatically show me that things. Okay, and here we have to resolve some dependency like service dot add auto mapper extension. Okay, we have to resolve this one. We have to register actually, and assembly, also assembly. I need to bring the namespace cycle assembly. Yeah, it is under the system the reflection. So assembly dot get execute assembly. Okay, so all the assembly will execute and register over here. Okay, for the auto mapper extension. One is this, and then another one is service dot add. Okay, no, not like that. Okay, later on we'll add, because there's a many things we have to add, but once we try to implement, so that time we'll add and show you why we require that one. Okay, but as of now, for the setup purpose, I think this is required, so that's why I'm adding over here. And one more thing, like services dot add mediator r, map mediator r actually, so that also required. See, let create some lambda expression, and under this lambda expression we have to cfg. Okay, and registered register service for assembly. Actually we have to register service from assembly. Okay, this guy, and that's it. Okay, and that's it, and just return services. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so application layer also done. Now we have to move to that another one, like infrastructure layer. Okay, so let me create another library, add project, similar kind of fashion. Like if you choose, if appearing over here, you can choose over here, neither you can just click and search over here. Then I will choose over here because I have already there. So similar kind of fashions we'll follow, and this is infrastructure. Okay, infra, I call it just infra, I think that is fine. Infra, and then next, create. Okay, remove that by default class, and in this is infrastructure will contain actually that database things and also repository, so that our AP, our application layer actually direct will not connect direct in the API in the database. Directly will call the repository, and repository will interact you know the database. Okay, so for this what are required, and like first is required in our data, and in this data will contain our DB context, all of the things will contain over here. And also another one will call it repository. Repository actually, here actually in the infrastructure layer will implementation, this is an implementation layer outside outer implementation layer actually. So repository, repository. Okay, so repository, and in this repository actually we'll implement whatever our rules and repository over here. Like for example, I'll create a one repository for connectivity to the database, so interface will be there, and implementation over here. So whatever implementation, it will directly connect with this the context, database, directly interact will here, and then only application layer talk with the what do you say, in our presentation layer. Okay, and in here also we have to create that register dependency, so that whatever dependency in this layer we have to resolve and fix it. Okay, so yeah, let me add a class, similar type of class. Okay, that's called a configuration service. Okay, but this configuration service for the infrastructure layer. Okay, and similar public. Okay, and yeah, one more thing I'm missing again. Like see, this infrastructure layer actually dependent the domain layer and application layer, but already domain layer let me zoom it so that you can understand very well. Okay, so see, in infrastructure layer dependent in the domain layer and the application layer. Okay, so I already domain layer, dependent I add a reference on application layer, so application layer have, have the domain layer dependency. Like see, if you open, see, the application layer also have a domain layer dependency. Okay, so what I need to do, I just need to add only these two here so that I can have access on both. Okay, when you add that application layer, so if you go to see, I have application layer access and as well as, like, domain layer, as well as all the dependency here like this. In this dependency, automapper and fluent API, everything I have. Okay, so those dependency has been resolved. Okay, now need to implementation over here, like same public static class, and then I need to create a, okay, let me small it. Okay, let me minimize. Okay, public, then static, and then I service collection, I service collection. Okay, and let me add some meaningful name, so that actually what we are doing, I'm doing just add infrastructure dependency services. So let me add this guy, and then this. And also here we required one more thing. Actually we required some, configuration part over here, because I know I have to resolve dependency, some database things. So in database things, in database configuration will have to come in the UI layer, and then those UI layer will get that configuration. So yeah, uh, so let me add another property what we are passing over here, that configuration. So where I will get that configuration, I configuration configuration. Okay, oh sorry, I configuration, and then make it name same as a configuration, and let me bring the namespace, and it is I configuration, I guess. Let me, okay, so it is I configuration. Yeah, it is required, I think, Microsoft extension configuration abstraction. So let me add this one, just install. Okay, let me install, and it is adding over here. Let this done. Okay, this is done. Okay, and later on also we have to return the service. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this also done, except whatever, connection or things will register over here, but yeah, we have to resolve the dependency over here. That's why I call over it here. Okay, these are all the setup done for that, domain infrastructure. And here, so see, in the infrastructure layer, just add, these packages, and also, like, that dependency of application layer. Okay, and finally in the in a UI layer. Okay, in UI layer we have to record one dependency of application layer. So how we can add that? Just simply add the reference and add application layer. Okay, and that's it. Okay, see, the application layer have the domain layer, and those domain layer, that's it. Okay, so that is fine. I think in application layer, okay, sorry, I think there's two things actually required, that application layer and infrastructure layer. So two dependency required. So let me add another one, that is fine, and infrastructure layer. Okay, so yeah, that the two dependency required in this UI layer, the application and infrastructure. So I add it over here. So now it is done. And what I need to do, I just add whatever, that, layer wise service dependency I need to register over here. I need to call it over here. So how we can do that? Simple, builder dot services dot whatever the name, just call out over here. Whatever I created the name, I created add application service. So go back to here, just add over here, just put the name, okay, and the bring the namespace. So let me bring the namespace. I think there's some issue directly, you know directly not we are getting those uh, namespace. So what I can do, I just adding some namespace like using clean architecture with the mediator R, and then it is coming from application layer. So let me add that application layer. Okay, so see, this is resolve. Okay, if you right click and go to definition, so definitely will reach in the application layer implementation. Okay, now go back again, just save it again. Similar things what need to do, we have to add registration on this one, infrastructure layer. Okay, so I have another extension method, builder services dot add. That call is, I forget the name, but yeah, we can copy it from here. The name is add infrastructure dependency. So go back here, just paste it over here. Okay, and again the name, bring the namespace directly, it should not happen, so don't worry about that. You can just using clean architecture, whatever the our project name, and then what is the this one. So see, once I bring, it's automatically changed to color, and see, it is asking to eye configuration. So where I will get that eye configuration, I will get eye configuration under this builder dot configuration. Okay, so builder dot configuration, that's it. So we can add something like add layer, add layer dependency. Okay, so that's it. Now just build one more time. See, build succeed. Okay, there is a no error, so that our project setup successfully build, and also the setup is completed. Okay, so these, you know this is the way, very easy, nice or easiest way, so that we can easiest create our whatever package is required we can add, and also set up that project structure. Okay, so this is a clean architecture. Okay, and also we adding that all the required packages. So in next video we'll implement one by one. Like first we'll implement the domain layer. In domain layer, adding some entities, and then whatever uh, the rules we need to add, we'll add and implement, and we'll discuss as well what is the domain layer one by one. And then we'll add an application layer, and how we'll create that create command, delete command, update command, and how we can get that queries, get by queries, and also how we can add that common some validators and mappings things. Okay, as well as whatever required dependency we'll have to resolve as well here. Okay, and then another session will discuss implementation about the infrastructure layer. Okay, and here also we'll add some db context, and then we'll implement and connectivity, that db how we can connect. Okay, so as of now that is fine. Thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to subscribe.